Have you ever wanted to know how to start your interior design for your salon or what type of salons there are that you can start? Let's get to this next online class. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about how to design your interior space or what tips and business strategies you have to think about in order to create a commercial salon. So I'm just going to go through the basic principles and steps leading up to getting a council permit for a beauty salon, but I'm just going to go through the different types of salons there are in Australia. So the first one is home-based salons. Second one is a salon within a salon or a rented space within, for example, a hairdresser or a rented space within a spa. This is type number 2. Type number 3 is the one we're going to focus on. Our commercial salon, a standalone branded salon, or a franchise salon. So we're going to be talking just the basic steps, principles, and tips to start a salon design. Within considering, once you've decided on your location and signed the lease, you actually have to understand the blank canvas that comes with the lease. So the interior space, how much floor space you actually have to work with to be able to section out your different zonings within a beauty salon. The blank canvas, you always have to understand not just the interior space, but the visibility, frontage, the window space as well. What are the sizes that you actually have to work with within this blank canvas? Then after that, step number 2 is sectioning out the type of spaces that you require. So type of spaces that you require for a beauty salon, for example, is the beginning space, is the reception area, the front area, where your staff is going to be greeting your clients. Is there a waiting area where they can actually sit down? Is there a space where they are documenting all their paperwork? After that, the reception or introductory space, there is your workspace or the beauty salon space where you have your beauty salon bedding. For example, with the bedding, are you going to be using a reclining chair? Or are you going to be using a lying down massage bed? Within the type of space, not only your work area, but where your client is going to have their treatment, but you also have to consider where you're going to place your tools, such as, are you going to have a workstation close by? Are you going to have a cleaning area? Especially with different council, there has to be a cleaning area for your hands. There has to be a different cleaning area for your tools and equipment. So once you've got all your areas, you have to set out a plan or draw up a floor plan that corresponds to the different workflow that you're going to go through within a beauty salon. So setting out your plan, you can actually draw out a floor plan through your blank canvas. So once you've drawn your blank canvas, you can map out your bedding, your workstation, your cleaning area, your staff storage area, and then you can draw out different options to see what fits within the space. Once you've understand the different workflow, you can actually draw up the plans to be able to submit to the council. So when submitting to the council, you have to be able to know which council you're under. So for example, this EP, we're going to just be focusing on the Melbourne City Council and understanding the basic regulations and type of permits within an interior space. Are they also, you also have to understand within the City Council their interior parameters, if they require any signage to be put out on the front of your salon. You have to ensure that you've got the permits for your signage as well as permits for your public health and well-being license within the interior of your beauty salon. So this is just basic examples. Once you've filled out your form, you've got all your floor plans, you can actually submit it through a standard or priority processing. Standard 15 days, priority for processing is 5 days. Once you've submitted all your plans, obviously on the form you have to fill out all the required details such as ABN number, your descriptions, your license and registration, and how you're going to actually be working with this space or working in the space, what kind of treatments you're going to be providing for the client. Is it only skin treatments? Is it only eyelash extension treatments, or is it IPL treatments as well? So all this has to be listed out on your form. Throughout the form, you also have to ensure that you're understanding everything that's required within the interior. So if you have an interior designer that's submitting your plans, they would actually be doing all this for you. I do have a background in interior design, so I drew all my plans, sections, elevations myself and submitted it with this form. Usually plans with this form is 1 to 50 or 1 to 100. So always ensure that all your plans are visibly accurate with all the different annotations, as well as having all the different details accurately labeled. And if you have any questions, you can call the local city council and you'll be directed to a representative. Usually the representative is the same person within that particular council. So you have always a person and a contact base in the council that will help you, because you only want to do the right thing and abide by all the rules and regulations. So for example, on the third page of the form, you have to analyze and you have to be able to categorize what service you're going to be doing, and within that area what kind of floor space, wall, ceiling space, and dimensions you have within that particular area. So within that area, you're going to have floor finish that is timber, or floor finish that is tiles. Your cleaning station is there a double sink cleaning station for your equipment? Is there an area where you can actually have all your soap dispensers? So all these parameters are for you to actually check and go through, so that you can be able to have the most safest place and the most functional space for your beauty services. So this actually helps you in order to create a fully functioning beauty salon. When talking about another tip is adding your brand or visible brand language through the actual space. This is actually a fun step to go through. So it's just basically your colors, your logos, your imagery, and your decoration within the space. So we've gone through the functionality in step number 4, especially with the permits. But this one is saying what your brand vision and your brand narrative is. Sometimes the brand is not only what is visible, but what is projected through your staff and your brand vibe as well. So how you make the customer feel within the space is also another category that we'll be able to talk about in another episode. So that's it for me today. So those are the basic principles and tips in order for you to consider. Although these are not the most drawn out list, the most comprehensive list, but these are the steps and protocols you can take in order for you to create your own beauty business as well. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We are all here to create and make you a world beautypreneur.